Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hey, Romeos.
Hey.
Welcome.
How's it going?
How are you?
Very good. How are you?
You're looking very spiffy. I
Yeah,
have to say.
nice shirt, Moran.
You're looking very spiffy.
Wow.
That is a nice shirt. That's a mean
Yeah.
shirt.
The one time I didn't wear a Superman T-shirt.
Do you have a date tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys.
I didn't know we had groupies. The Romeo podcast have groupies.
How fortunate are we?
Yeah,
You guys look good. So welcome, everyone.
Welcome.
Thanks for listening, watching, liking, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Welcome back.
And please continue doing all of that good stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
There was a fly that just went by.
Yeah.
Why did just go by?
Okay.
Wonder if it's a regular. Anyhow,
We have the
Hey, Ray.
stench of death around us.
Oh, my.
Okay, speaking of stench of death, what are we talking about today?
What a segue. That's an artistic segue.
so today I thought it'd be interesting for the Romeos to weigh in on a topic that seems to be and has been in the news for some time and continues to be and won't go away, much to the chagrin of certain elected officials in the U.S. I wanted to ask you guys, who cares about Jeffrey Epstein?
I do.
Okay.
I don't.
All right. Hacky?
Oh, it's a factor. He's a factor.
All right.
His
So
story
we
is
have
a
enough to
factor.
go on, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
So since you do,
Yes.
Noran,
Yes.
why don't you get us started?
I think it's super important for the details or for as much information to get out as possible, because there is a very, very real possibility that Epstein had information and was, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God, I can't come up with the word. When
Yes, shit on people.
yeah, shit on people, and he was what's the word when you have something on someone and you want money?
You blackmail.
Oh,
Blackmail. Thank you. My brain. Sorry, guys. So it's a very real possibility that he was blackmailing some of the most influential and richest people on the planet because he had videos of them having sex with underage women at his facility on his island, and Prince Andrew. A bunch of other names. I don't know.
Suggest Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton, like just very, very, very high profile, very, very wealthy
A-list.
individuals who had been on his plane, who had been to his island. And in the meantime, all of a sudden, his wealth, apparently people were asking, where is his wealth coming from? Because from what I've read and from what I've heard, there wasn't a straight line to the wealth that he had in terms of the work that he did and the income that he made himself.
Well, I would say, so I not that I've researched this to the nth degree, but my understanding is that there is a fairly direct line to him having amassed a significant amount of wealth
Yeah.
through a variety of activities.
That's what I understand.
There is one relationship that has been questioned for some time, and it was being questioned while he was still alive, where what you just said may have applied. But from a broader perspective, I think this is becoming a huge conspiracy theory. I really do. And I'd love you guys to weigh in before we get like deeper and deeper into this.
Right.
But my take on the whole situation is this. Through various means, information came to light pertaining to Jeffrey Epstein's activities with underage women, girls.
Yep.
And initially it got swept under the rug for reasons that would have been convenient to him and other parties. And based on the resilience of certain individuals, it did not go away, but it took years for him to finally go to trial and for some of the claims to be substantiated and for him to be incarcerated.
Yeah. So there's proof that he did.
The things that he was alleged to have done by
Right.
certain girls who were young women
Yep.
who initially were somewhat dismissed. Their claims were somewhat dismissed.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So big tick mark there.
So big tick mark.
So he did it.
So I have to believe that if there was evidence of other people, prominent figures, being involved in a very obvious way, it would have come to light and those people would have had their day in court.
Yeah.
Well, you're supposing or you're presupposing that Epstein talked.
No, he doesn't have to talk. Because in the same way that Prince Andrew got implicated,
Exactly.
because a young woman said, I was trafficked. Right?
Yeah. She named a few names, yes.
So Prince Andrew is a prominent figure globally. He was named. I have to believe that if a Bill Clinton or a Bill Gates or some other prominent figure would have been involved, it would have come to light by now.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it's all...
I'm not saying it's impossible that it's all been concealed. What I'm saying is it's highly unlikely.
Okay, but Pat, even if it's just Prince Andrew, even if he was the only one out of all of those people, which I find highly unlikely, if he was the only one that was also implicated in there, well, let's find out.
Yeah, my point, the point I wanted to come back to is that based on Epstein's activities, I'm not talking his sexual activities, I'm talking about his broad business activities. He came into contact with some of the wealthiest and most prominent business people, and specifically businessmen in the world.
Yeah.
And so just because that was the case doesn't mean that we should immediately think that those people are guilty of wrongdoing.
But I'm not saying that, Pat. All I'm saying is shed some light. Let all of the information come out.
So
That's
what I will grant you is that if the information that you're suggesting come to light has not come to light,
and it hasn't,
is because there are some individuals who are trying to protect something.
correct.
It doesn't mean that they're guilty of having trafficked or slept with underage girls.
I don't jump to conclusions, Pat. I agree with you.
They don't want it to be known that they were associated
Right, like Trump.
with this repugnant individual.
Correct, like Trump, who was best friends
So-
with the guy for 15 years.
So I'm going to go to someone else and say, Bill Gates, for all the good that he's done for the world, is a womanizer. Okay, two things can be true at once. He's a womanizer.
Fine.
Do I think that he has bedded underage girls? I have no idea.
It doesn't matter
But
if
what
you
I do,
think so.
but what we do know, what I know and what we know,
Okay.
is that when the Epstein story broke in a big way, his wife elected at that time to say enough is enough.
To divorce him, yeah.
But
Now,
it was a
she's a bright woman,
yeah.
and they met at a time when they were both with Microsoft. She had to know of his reputation because people outside of Microsoft knew of his reputation. It was no secret.
Okay.
She put up with it. But with this particular relationship, meaning Epstein, she said enough is enough.
Okay, so you're in my camp.
Right.
But I thought Bill Gates was an office romance that he had. Wasn't that's what led
but
to
he's
the
a
divorce.
womanizer.
An office romance?
A series of
No,
what we're suggesting.
He was.
That's what led to the divorce. That's what
I think he's the classic geek who got super wealthy and saw an opportunity to capitalize on his fame and fortune.
Dip his wick,
Right.
so to speak.
for myself, I really don't care about this.
So what I'm saying is, if it's all about the tabloid stuff getting out there,
it's not about that.
I could care less.
No, but Pat, that's not what I'm saying.
Let me just finish. What I do care about is if there was any wrongdoing, meaning illegal activities, then yes, that should come to light.
Exactly.
But for me, if it's just about satisfying the curiosity of people as to, who went to the island and who did, if there was no illegal act committed, then I could care less.
Okay, so I get your point. You don't want to do a broad brush. Anyone who went to the island is a pedophile.
In the same way, I could care less that Bill Clinton was getting blown in the Oval Office. It was consensual. And the whole witch hunt that ensued.
Yeah.
Now, if it wasn't consensual, if he was forcing himself upon people, then that's a different story.
Okay.
The reason
But we don't know that was the case.
Yeah, then but don't lie about it. But
But the reason why I don't care about the story is that I'm convinced brilliant people like Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, did not bed underage girls.
We don't know.
Maybe they don't know they were underage.
No, what?
I mean,
They're not.
listen,
No,
I'm sorry, but
no.
an 18-year-old or a 17-year-old, they're both young.
Okay,
I mean, they're both children.
I understand, but I don't think, so a guy like Prince Andrew, which I don't consider to be so important, I think he's a garbage to start with, even before this. So, big deal.
But haven't we seen, Dominic, haven't we seen enough of these people, at this level in their lives in society, super successful, super wealthy?
Like who?
We talked about Bill Gates.
Bill Gates, he had an office romance.
We talk about Weinstein.
No, let's make the distinction.
exactly.
Let's make
This
the
isn't the
distinction.
Me Too moment. This isn't about Me Too.
It comes
No, it's
close
not.
to that.
If a prominent public figure has an active sex life and it's based on consensual relationships
With adults.
with adults,
We're not, but that's not what I'm talking about.
it's who cares?
Yeah, it's
Who
it.
cares?
But we're talking
if
about
someone is guilty of rape
Yeah.
or human trafficking
Michael Weinstein, not Michael
or
Weinstein.
pedophilia or any illegal act, then those people should be
Crosby.
No.
Anyway,
taken to court.
okay. So look,
Sidney Crosby?
I agree with.
I mean Cosby.
I agree with your statement. I agree with your statement about people, of course, between consenting adults, what they do, that's their business. Nobody, should be casting anything against them. But in this instance, I mean, we know, we know through, the Weinstein stories. We know, Giuliani. We know that, there is
Why are
a
you
lot
putting
of
other people into this? This is the part that
I'm
waters
putting-
all this shit down.
because there's a foundation
No,
for super
stop.
successful, rich, some super
Aki,
successful,
this isn't
sick, rich people
Aki,
to,
don't make
to
it
go
in-
down these dirty paths.
So I'm
why
gonna
are you-
disagree with you on one point. Take the words rich and successful out of your vocabulary.
It's more pronounced.
stop.
Okay.
Stop.
It's a
with that.
reflection of society.
Fine.
Listen,
fine. I'll take that.
I want to go back to a point that Pat made about being a conspiracy theory, becoming a huge conspiracy. That's what it is. I'm convinced of that too, because it's. I don't believe that these guys, prominent. Look, you couldn't name a prominent individual.
Of course I did. Weinstein. We said
No,
we
these
said
are not
Gates.
minors.
Stop with the Me Too shit.
These are
But
not.
they said we're talking about. He wants to. He's
This is
questioning
about
No,
young
minors.
girls, minors.
minors.
Focus.
Of course
Let's focus.
prominent people that have betted minors. Name me one.
No, that's illegal.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Just
the
like
point.
just like rape is illegal.
Exactly,
No, that I
exactly.
agree with.
Yeah.
All I'm suggesting, Naran, is if there was evidence,
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I would hope by now
Yeah.
that those people would have been charged.
Exactly.
We agreed.
Yeah.
Right.
If there is no evidence,
Yeah.
then it just becomes a story.
Okay.
But how do we get to the
So
bottom
I
of it?
get your point, and I kind of understand what you're saying, which is to not brush everyone with the wide brush that says anyone that went to the island is a pedophile. I get that, but at the same time, there seems to be some stench around there. There seems to be. Let's face the facts about how he was killed or how he died in prison, where there's no direct camera. There's like the 3 minutes missing or the 1 minute missing or whatever. There's a bunch of stuff that just doesn't make sense.
No, Rand, pedophiles don't do well in jail.
Yeah, but he was alone in his in the cell. It wasn't like he was with someone who
It
killed
doesn't
him.
matter. They don't do well. So they find a way.
So look,
But if he was murdered,
So if he was murdered, your point is, so first of all, I would say the fact that he died,
yes,
I don't think too many people really care.
no, it's what he knew.
How-
that's the problem. Look
how-
at what happened with Ghislaine Maxwell right now.
How he died becomes relevant if you believe
Yes.
that he may have been murdered
Yes.
to silence him.
Correct. And that is what I believe.
Okay.
I believe that is a potential. I don't know that for a fact. Nobody knows it for a fact. But all the information that could shed light on whether there was someone who would want him to be killed is in the redacted papers and the information that's not being released.
I want to ask you a couple of questions.
Okay.
Given the individual, do you think that the cause of death was looked into?
Yes.
The fact that he died in a cell where he was supposed to be
Without
isolated,
shoelaces and without shoelaces
Right,
and
and-
belts and all
right.
that stuff, right?
so the cause of death had to be investigated.
Yeah.
And so there's only one of two possibilities.
Yeah, he killed himself or someone killed
either
him.
he did commit suicide,
Yeah, exactly.
right? Or somebody had him killed
To make it look like suicide.
and had the power and influence to conceal it
Yes.
in spite of an investigation.
Yes.
Those are the only two possibilities. Do you agree?
Yep.
That's right.
Okay. So you're in the camp that believes that he was murdered.
That it's a potential that he was murdered. I don't know for a fact. I don't like to speak as if I know something
But
when
do
I
you
don't.
acknowledge that it was investigated?
Yes, it was investigated.
So you either accept the results of the investigation,
right.
which I believe concluded that he committed suicide.
Okay, so provide all of that evidence to the
who?
public.
To the entire to the world.
To the public, yes. What is the evidence? What?
Okay.
Show us all of the video evidence. Don't cut pieces out of it. When you cut pieces out of it, it just lets people understand that there's something wrong. Like, show all of it. If you showed every second of it, by the way, the angle of that camera where it shows those 3 doors doesn't actually show his cell.
I wasn't part of the investigation, so like you, I have to rely on whatever information has been made available.
Right.
And I reach a point where I say, you know what? I don't care.
Yeah. The end
I don't care.
The end justifies the means.
Okay, but hold
Yeah,
it,
but
guys.
you don't care. Why don't you care?
I don't care. He's a degenerate.
Okay, so now you have Ghislaine Maxwell.
There are more
who's
important
been-
things
She's
in
worse.
life that I choose to spend time
Okay.
caring about.
He's a fucking degenerate.
Look,
Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I want to come back on a point I made earlier, Naren. If anyone else was implicated with this son of a bitch,
Yeah.
then they should be, charged and prosecuted.
Prince Andrew.
Right now,
Whoever, I don't care who it is.
so you know what? I understand and I get your point about the broad brush and about tainting people who just went to the island for a vacation and maybe had fun with women but didn't sleep with underage girls. I get that, and there's no sense in dragging them through the mud. So that point is valid, and it's not lost on me. But at this point, unfortunately, it's grown beyond common sense. It's grown beyond that.
So have you felt this way since the time of his death?
Yes.
Or is it more recent?
No. Since the fact that he died in prison, the fact that he apparently committed suicide in prison was a huge red flag. At that point, they should have released information, but they didn't. That's the point. This is the thing that kills me, is at that time, they could have released information that would have showed that, there was nobody around, no one walked in, look, we did the investigation, guys. Here's a congressional session that we're going to present this to. Here are all the facts. It's all out there, people. Look, there's nothing here. There's nothing to see here, people. Just go on your way. They never did any of that. And that, to me, raises suspicion.
Okay, so we've had different administrations, and what I mean by that is we've had both.
Yeah, we had Biden afterwards. Yeah,
we've had both conservatives and liberals.
Yeah,
we've had changes in the White House. We've had changes in the composition of Congress, both in the House and in the Senate.
Yes,
and yet nothing has changed.
Yeah, well, I wonder what those names are.
Well,
because you have Democrats and Republicans as part. If you have Clinton and Trump, well, you got some on both sides.
So the only thing that has changed is that more recently, there's been a major about face.
Okay.
Because there was a campaign promise from the Republicans that we are going to disclose all the information.
Because it was all Democrats that were going to the island in their minds. So let's, because it's all politics here, right?
But many other things were said during the campaign that are patently false or lies or deceptions.
They're eating dogs.
And all those things have gone away.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody cares anymore.
Except for Epstein.
But this one
sticks.
This one sticks.
Yeah, because all the conspiracy theorists, all the nut jobs on the Republican side were really grabbing onto this thing. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't think I'm a nut job, but I still would like to have more information.
I agree. And the reason why we need to do this is because trafficking is a very serious problem that we have in our society. And when there's networks that are doing this, we as a society have a responsibility to put a stop to it. And to reveal, who the culprits are, and make sure that justice is served. So there's a basic social justice cause here that's at play.
So do you believe that the justice system is fairly effective today?
Yes. I
in
do.
cases like this?
No, because we had a
whoa, whoa,
podcast on
wait,
this.
hold on.
No, wait a second.
In cases like
Yes, we
this.
did. But
In cases like this, it's very hard to say, Pat. Are we? There's a lot of awareness. There's a lot of police resources now that are committed to this. I think we made some progress, but we haven't reached a point where we've been able to stamp it out to the extent that it needs to be stamped out.
so would you have said that 6 months ago?
I think so. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you're surprising me,
Why?
because I think most people had just accepted the so-called facts of this case until 6 months or less
Okay.
from today. And now suddenly it's become a thing again.
The conspiracy theorists were always up at arms.
Conspiracy theories never go away.
Okay.
Okay, but Pat,
You know, JFK and Martin Luther King and everything else is still out in the open.
So Pat,
This is just the event of the moment.
to your point, 6 months ago there was some sort of settlement of this. There was a report.
No, years ago there was a
Well,
settlement of this.
there was a settlement of it.
The guy committed suicide. That was the settlement.
Right. Investigations were undertaken.
Allegedly.
So we can question reasonably, you know, the effectiveness of the investigations, and if a proper, you know, job was done, we can question that. The fact that it's coming back, and the fact that it's for the first time it's MAGA base, you know, that's rising up against
So
the Supreme leader.
is that why you're salivating?
I'm salivating, absolutely.
I think that in order for society to function, and I'm not someone
hard.
who's considered naive in any way, okay? But I think at some point we have to become accepting. So we did a whole episode on whether people are good or bad at the root, and we've talked countless times over the course of the past year and a half about how, for all the things that have evolved in this world, human nature really hasn't changed. So we have to accept that there are elements of society that are just rotten pieces of crap.
we agree.
Yeah.
Okay?
Agreed.
But we also, in order for society to operate, we have to accept at some point that some work was done in looking into a matter, and the conclusion is what the conclusion is. The conspiracy theorists are never going to go away. They're always going to believe there's another
Yeah,
angle.
but Pat, it's so simple to make this go away. It's so fucking simple, and they're not doing it.
So for me, I have convinced myself that if there were other people implicated, that they would have been charged and prosecuted.
I agree with you.
Okay? If they haven't been, shame on the justice system, which we know is far from perfect.
Okay, if Trump, so let me pose the question. Okay, if Trump was at the island and he, for whatever reason, I'm not saying he did because I don't think he did, but if he also partook in the activities with younger women, and or there was a question mark on whether he did, and in some of the documents that have been redacted, there were question marks because they didn't know for sure, and whether it was Prince Andrew or Trump or Bill Gates or Bill Clinton or whomever else, that their names are in there, and there was some sort of investigation, and the results were inconclusive because they didn't have enough proof to prosecute. So you have to cross a certain bar from a criminal prosecution perspective beyond a reasonable doubt. And if they did not have the proof required to cross the threshold of reasonable doubt to go after these people, it doesn't mean they're innocent. Now, does it?
Of course not.
Okay. There's also civil liability.
hold
Hang
on,
on.
hold
There's
on.
also civil liability that comes along that can be prosecuted by the victims. Now, if you don't have any of the information, how can they prosecute?
Look at the number of people and women who, going back to Trump's first run at the office of the presidency, garnered the courage to go public with accusations
Against him.
against him.
Yeah, a bunch of them.
Why wouldn't women, perhaps from a time where they were underage, when they were minors,
Again,
come forward,
Pat,
and accuse him of wrongdoing?
Peace.
Why wouldn't they?
All I'm saying is let the information out. You asked why is it not out?
So here's how I look at it.
There are prominent people there.
What information do we want out? You're saying transparency.
Yeah.
It would be nice to think that we would get the unredacted, unfiltered, unaltered information.
Yeah.
Who's in the White House? Who's in the key agencies that are responsible for the safekeeping and or disclosure of the type of information you're interested in having in the public domain. Do you think for a second that there's any likelihood of that information making it into the public domain without any audio recordings being altered and or written documentation being redacted? Is there any possibility of that happening?
I don't know. Why would... yes, there is a possibility. It may not be a high probability, but...
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're going to be fed lies and bullshit.
But that's a crime.
Is it?
Yes, it is. I mean, if you're tampering with evidence tampering.
Well, so
What did Nixon do? What was Watergate all
many
about?
people have taken the fall for the guy in the White House. And by the way, you can't prosecute the guy while he's president.
I'm not even
It's not about Trump.
I'm not even talking
Well,
about...
a lot of people are making this about Trump.
Well, see, I want... Okay, so sorry.
go ahead.
I was just going to say...
All I'm saying,
if you can take the politics out of it...
you can't. You can't.
Well, that's a problem. I know you're politically motivated to go after Trump.
But it goes beyond that, and I'll explain why.
Okay, so in my world, it's not about the politics. I don't give a shit about the politics. I just want to understand what the hell is going on. And all of this redaction and all of this redacting, I guess, all of this stuff that's happening, the potential of him having been murdered in jail or not, all of these things, just
So I think the likelihood of you getting the information you ideally would like to get
yeah.
is about as high as getting information pertaining to JFK's murder, the Martin Luther King assassination, the Robert Kennedy assassination. I mean, you're not going to get it.
No, but we did. Hold it.
You're not going to get it.
In the cases you just cited, of course, there were commissions. There was a thorough investigation. Trump himself, they released the full all of the files around the JFK assassination. So there's been a lot more done, a lot more for transparency around these issues than what we're seeing around the Epstein issue. And the Epstein issue was the Republicans themselves. They were the people that always gripe about.
Yeah, but take the politics out of it.
So what?
The deep state. And
So
we're going
what?
to come. When we're in power, we're going to take it to the deep state, and we're going to crush the deep state. We are going to be
Yeah,
transparent.
Aki has a point.
And the
No,
Epstein,
his point
the
is
Epstein
what?
case was the example, the prime example.
So
how we're
what
going
is
to-
your point? That there's hypocrisy?
My point
At the highest levels of government?
My point is that this was their own deputy attorney general. There was a discussion about them potentially. The current deputy attorney general, who was Trump's personal attorney, who was absolutely adamant that they had to take this a step further and be completely
And
transparent
what
as
is
was
that?
promised.
What is that person saying today?
I don't know what they're saying today.
Nothing. He's saying.
the point-
there's nothing there. There's nothing to see here, folks.
Right.
Well, that's-
Because Trump's name is in the documentation.
So when you put it-
and because it's being tarred and feathered.
Guys,
because of
in
it.
the end,
Who cares?
degenerate died.
Who cares?
Best case scenario.
Yeah, but Ghislaine Maxwell now, hang on. So let's shift for 1 second
Yeah,
to our friend Ghislaine,
If she
who now,
dies.
by the way, who now just went into a minimum security, whatever farm where she can get language lessons and learn how to
She's
do.
with Elizabeth Holmes.
Yeah, there we go. So, she can have a nice little vacation now in this wonderful place in Texas. It's going to be hot in the summer, but I'm sure there's air conditioning there. Okay. She's been moved there right after she had a one-on-one discussion with, I guess, the deputy attorney general.
Yeah.
Right. So what was said? Why can we not hear or see the transcript of that discussion?
Well, they're working on it. They said.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
working on it.
apparently-
They're trying to get the information. It's going to be redacted like hell. I agree with you, Pat. It's all inflammatory. All of this stuff has been politicized up the wazoo. Okay. And that's the problem. In the meantime, I believe if you have a living witness who can actually shed light on what's going on.
And you don't think that a living witness would have come forward by now?
She has, and they were trying to make a deal, but somehow the deal has not been struck.
Who
Yet,
are you referring to?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
No, I'm talking about other witnesses, victims. She can't be the only person
No.
who would have knowledge of such activities.
Exactly.
Who knows if there were death threats? Who knows if there've been payoffs? Who knows? How do you know that the women who were trafficked didn't get $20 million in a Swiss bank account someplace and are enjoying their lives?
So if those individuals feel that they've been adequately compensated
Yeah.
for their suffering, then who cares
Oh,
If
okay.
they don't care enough, enough for it to come to light,
Good point.
then it's none of my business.
Well, I'm sorry,
But is it
that's-
trafficking? Is the trafficking like a
so
concern?
you're okay, for example, if Bill Gates, let's pick a name. If Bill Gates was part of the part of this cabal or whatever you want to call it, having sex with minors, and he decided to pay one of these women $50 million, shut up. Yes, I know I had sex with you when
There's no problem
when you were
here.
14 years old, but here you go. Here's $50 million. Shut your mouth. Enjoy your life. That's okay with you?
Somebody with information. Well, it's not okay with me because I have morals and values.
Well, there you go. That's why I find it weird that you're saying that you don't care because she doesn't
there's
care.
not a damn thing you or I can do about it.
Well,
My point is,
let's
the
let this shit
only-
see the light of day.
The only people who can bring it to light
Yes.
are victims or people who are otherwise implicated, whether through financial transactions or otherwise.
For now, because of the
Those
White
are the
House.
only people.
Listen, in
Those-
3 years when Trump is gone, the
It
next.
doesn't matter what the White House's position is. If we're not talking about Donald Trump,
Yeah.
anyone with knowledge today is free to go forward and press charges.
Okay, but we agree.
Anyone.
But we agree, Pat. We agree that sexual trafficking is illegal.
Yeah. That's a.
It's illegal. It's immoral.
But it's illegal.
It has to, like any crime, Aki, it has to be proven.
It has to be proven. It has to be prosecuted.
Yeah.
There was
So
a
this is
member
why-
of Congress that everybody loved to hate on the left who was accused of bedding underage
Yes.
girls and trafficking.
Yes.
That's right.
He never got charged. Why?
But-
because there was no proof.
But these are,
Well, he had some Venmo payments, but
okay. But
I
Pat,
guess they didn't find that to cross
What
the level
do
of.
you think? Do you think for a second, that if there was a liberally minded individual
Yeah, I get it.
who had any amount of proof,
No, I get it. Yes.
you don't think they would have pursued this guy?
Right. I get it. I understand. So Matt Gaetz is free to date whatever high school girls. That's fine. He can go and enjoy himself.
Well, it's
Knock
not
yourself
fine,
out. Well, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. For me, I get back to this case being about the potential. The potential perpetrators in this case have the means to silence anyone because of the vast amount of wealth that they have. So yes, if this is the part that irks me. Okay, money doesn't mean you can do whatever the fuck you want on this planet. It just doesn't. That's again. I'm not a liberal. I'm not. I'm not a Democrat. No. For me, it just pisses me off that some people think because they have money they can do whatever the fuck they want.
So, Naren,
Okay, and-
I
Yeah,
agree. I
reality.
agree with you on that point. But here's
And here I can and I
No,
finally agree on something.
I
on,
agree.
we're bonding,
I agree
baby.
with you on the point you just made.
Okay.
However, if the victim chooses compensation over a legal form of justice
Yeah.
and satisfies themselves that they have been adequately compensated for their suffering,
Oh, okay. So I can kill. I can kill your family.
I disagree with it.
So I can kill-
disagree with it, but it's not my call.
So I can kill somebody's family, give them $1 billion, and I'm okay. I can still walk the earth.
Naran.
I mean, come on. That doesn't make sense. It's morally reprehensible, and I
Where's
don't
the
agree.
proof?
All right.
Where's the proof? They're the only ones who can supply it.
Well, then let all of the redacted documents come out, and let's see what the fuck's going on.
Okay, look,
there.
look, cover up, and bribery does not negate prosecution.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna
Welcome to the real world, guys. It happens every day, and there's not
Well,
a
it
damn
shouldn't.
thing you can do about
Well,
it.
there is something we can do about it. That's what I'm saying. Let that shit out.
Naran, I'm going to take an avenue which is not going to be popular. First of all, the ringleader was taken care of. He was the worst of all of them, right?
Well, no, Maxwell is
Yeah, and Maxwell too. But if there were underage girls, those girls were problematic to start with.
What? Come on.
Well,
okay. But,
problematic.
whoa, okay. What does that mean?
what I mean is that, they were in that life already. It's not
Okay,
that.
but okay. So there, I'm gonna disagree with where you're headed.
You can't victim
because
shame. I mean,
they're minors.
yeah.
And there are
agree.
there are laws that are intended to protect them,
I agree. But what,
right, from
Yeah.
pieces of crap,
I totally agree.
Like
But
Epstein.
And Maxwell.
regardless of what their upbringing is, regardless of what their personal choices are in life. There are laws that are intended to protect them.
Because it-
So there, I'm going to disagree with you. However, those girls have become women. Many years have gone by. If they haven't seen fit at any point in time to disclose what happened to them and to seek justice.
One did, but then committed suicide.
Well, more than one did. Many did.
Yeah.
Many did. But not a single one of the ones who did implicated any of the individuals who, the left feel are guilty and the right feel are guilty.
But Pat, I'll give you another example. So
Isn't that weird?
I'll give you another example.
Unless there's nothing there.
Okay, just the pursuit of the mafia, right?
I just want to keep on this one for 1 second.
Other than Prince Andrew.
Yeah.
Okay. So one Prince Andrew and one Epstein. So of all the parties that they had, of all the underage girls that were there, of all of the shit that we've heard about of trafficking and whatever, only two of them.
Well, no, we're only aware of two prominent individuals.
That's my point, Pat. That's my entire point.
It warrants investigation.
Look, it could be other people that are
You don't think and I'm back to you don't think this has been investigated.
And it could
Yes.
be.
But again, Pat, it's the current regime. Sorry, Dom. It's the current regime, that has opened this door. It's them who talked about the deep state, who talked about, and they cited Epstein as an example. And when we come to power, we're going to unveil, the full extent of the crime that was committed. It was them. So it's them who are sending the message that there's still more investigating that needs to be done. And what we're saying is, please go forward and do the more investigation.
Maybe they've discovered that there's nothing there.
I'm sure there was a lot of participants, like underreached people. Don't forget, there's people worth $500 million by the thousands and thousands.
Yeah.
And these people are not prominent. Okay? So they're...
Yeah, CEO of JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, whatever, all these people.
That's prominent. But I'm talking about guys that,
Okay, the VP's under him.
Well, exactly. So, who cares about these people? They're not prominent.
But that's not the point. The point is the law. That's the point.
I can't believe I'm in agreement with Aki.
The law and justice. What does justice look like? If justice is going to be done behind closed doors and we don't trust it, then where do we go?
Aki, if there was evidence of other people, wealthy or not, being implicated, you don't think that they would have been charged?
Okay, so Pat, hang on, just 1 second. So say you're the investigator, you've got 5 people on your team, you discover something. Mm-hmm. You take it up to your boss, who's the director of the FBI. Hey, boss, look what I found. My team and I, the 5 of us, we have this. We got him. The answer is, no, we're not going to prosecute. There's larger reasons for this. You don't need to know. That's it. You don't think people have been silenced in the past?
So I'm going to come back, of course, but I'm going to come back to a point I made earlier. Mm-hmm. We've had both liberals and conservatives holding the seat of power.
But who's seen the redacted information? Do you think Trump has read everything with his own eyes?
It doesn't matter.
Well, if the stuff hasn't been...
I want to remind you that Trump was prosecuted for a whole lot less than this.
Of course. That's...
So if there was any evidence of Trump being implicated, you don't think that some liberal with a hate on for Trump...
It's not about Trump. I'm not saying that it's him.
But it's become about Trump now.
Well, again, I'm trying to take the politics out of it. I don't give a shit about the politics part.
I understand you don't.
Okay.
But the reason this is front page news everywhere
is because of the politics.
Because of the politics.
I get you. So that's not my angle.
So your angle
is the truth.
I'm addressing through the following observation.
Okay.
We've had both liberal and conservative individuals in the White House.
Yes.
Holding power in Congress.
Yes.
During the course of Epstein being charged, prosecuted, incarcerated, and dying.
Yeah, and they don't want to touch him. They don't want to touch him. They don't want to have anything to do with him.
So you can go on believing that there's more there. I choose to say at this point, who cares? Other than if there's someone who has been silenced inappropriately or illegally.
Or through money, illegally.
No, that's prove it. Prove it.
Well, okay. My point is let the information out so that everyone can see.
Trump slept with a porn star. Yeah. Who cares?
Okay, let's
wait a second. He paid to silence her. Now suddenly people care because he did something that was illegal.
Yes.
Did they go after him?
They did.
So if he or anyone else who is prominent would have been involved with underage girls, whether they're on the right side or left side of the aisle, somebody would have gone after them.
Okay.
Yeah, but my scenario before about it being shut down by director of the FBI or whomever at the time who felt either too much political pressure, whatever other Prince Andrew, for example, UK prominent royal from the UK. Maybe they didn't want to do this. Maybe the UK paid. I don't know. I don't know how or why.
But the fact that Andrew was implicated,
yes,
came to light because a victim,
yes,
spoke out.
Yes. So maybe there are other victims who didn't speak out because they got paid off.
Then you have to
shame
continue
on
the
them.
investigation.
Shame on them.
Well, shame on them doesn't the end of it.
No,
though.
exactly.
It doesn't take
you
away.
can't- You're not. How much do you want? How much time, energy, and money do you want to spend
Cost benefit.
chasing something when
Yeah.
the only people
Okay.
who can see justice rendered do not want to talk
Okay, so here's justice, though.
for whatever reason?
Justice has to rise above that. Justice has to rise above the interests of those people that are in power and who are making
I'm
decisions.
talking about the victims. If there's no victim, there's no crime.
Well, look, you can argue then the whole
Doesn't work that
the
way.
example
Yes,
of
it does.
The war against the
It does.
mafia. Excuse me, the war against the mob. It was how many witnesses that would not testify against the bosses? That didn't stop the investigation. It was legitimate that the investigation continued so that the families could be brought down, and that's what was done. As a matter of fact, Rudy Giuliani, when he was a sensible human being, gets full credit for the work that he did.
The
But that's
racketeering stuff, the RICO
that's
stuff.
exactly how it happened.
Yes.
People, witnesses were bought off or knocked off, and there was, there's nobody here
They
making
had
any
evidence,
accusations.
Aki. They had evidence.
They
Well, maybe they have
investigated for
evidence now and we
decades.
don't see it.
If there was evidence, people would have been prosecuted.
I'm not sure about that.
I don't think the case is closed, Pat. That's where we differ. The case is not closed.
On that one point, we differ because you're trusting the system, and I'm not trusting the system because the system is run by people, and people can be coerced. People
Can be corrupt.
can be corrupt. They can be coerced. They can be paid off. They can be threatened. Okay. Now, I don't know if any of that happened, but I'm not convinced that the system has taken care of this.
But everything
properly.
you just
That's
said
all.
works both ways.
It does. I know it's
So-
a conspiracy that I'm spouting.
All those things can support facts being concealed.
Yeah.
At the same time, all those factors can actually incite people to make stuff up.
Yeah, I get it. I know, and I'm being a conspiracy theorist
So-
now, and I hate that because it's not me. But this one is, God damn it, there's something there. I'm convinced of it, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
Look,
And
Pat,
my point is, whether there is or there isn't, there's not a damn thing that we can do about it.
Okay.
If the system, and I use the term system broadly speaking, hasn't produced evidence
Oh well, we can do something about it.
or for whatever reasons, and or victims have chosen not to come forward,
So
there's not a damn thing we can do about it.
we can and we are because now it's in the realm of public opinion. And because the public opinion is so strong, especially for the MAGA crowd, which is putting them.
The facts will not see the light of day.
So I'm hoping
we can't let that happen.
You may well.
Who's we?
We
Our system, our justice system. That's exactly
It's
what
not
professionals.
our justice system.
Well,
Yeah.
It's the American justice
If you have a
system. And in all the key positions, you have loyalists.
Right.
You have loyalists.
Okay, so that's.
So, Pat-
that's
I mean, you talk
danger.
about conspiracy theories, whether it's a conspiracy theory
That's
or
the
not.
danger. When that's
Apparently, the vice president of the United States
is having a dinner.
is having meetings
And
with individuals who essentially control this information
Yeah, I know.
Right.
It's
So-
terrible. It's terrible. The optics are terrible.
in order to ensure that whatever sees the light of day
Exactly. Has no Trump in it.
and we cannot accept that. That is corruption, and we have to have. I don't. Okay, I understand.
No, it's a degree of Aki. You live in a corrupt world,
we do, and we've always had.
and all political systems are corrupt. All of them.
well, we have some.
It's a question of degree.
Except China.
Okay, but we have justice systems. We have justice systems, except in China. We have justice systems that are legitimate, that have been professional, and have been more or less above politics. Not perfect, but they have accomplished
Things have gotten worse.
They have accomplished
Worse.
significant wins against crime. What I'm saying now is what's happening. Of course, if you, as the Trumpers are doing, if you're turning the whole justice system into your own little fiefdom, and it's it's only your people, and there's no more professionalism and no more objectivity, of course, nothing,
Every day,
nothing will happen. Have we
every
reached that
single
level?
day.
We have.
We have reached that level in the States? God
Yes.
help us. then.
Every single
have.
day, you have criminals who are walking free.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have people who are
It's sad.
evil-minded,
Yeah.
despicable.
But you have a just. You could disagree with the decisions of the judges. So I think that's what your point is. It's imperfect, but at least you have some objectivity.
It's
and you
not
have some
just judges,
professionalism.
Aki. You have people who commit violent crimes,
Yeah,
and
Pat.
and you have victims who are essentially not coming forward.
Listen.
But you pursue it.
Let's
No, you can't.
Well,
if you have no evidence, you can't pursue it.
Okay, if the victim doesn't come forward, but you have video evidence, for example, then you can go forward with the case because you have evidence. So the problem is evidence. Okay, to your point, to me, the victimless crime, it's bullshit. Okay, there's always a victim. There's something. There's always a problem somewhere. Okay, on the Epstein front, we don't know what we don't know, and all I'm saying is, let the stuff out. And I don't think it's going to happen. It may happen 10 years from now. It may happen 20 years from now. But at a certain point, this shit has to come out.
It doesn't have to. No, you're saying it should. It doesn't have
should.
to. It
It
doesn't
should.
have to.
But it should. In order.
And whatever information comes out, I challenge you
Yeah, the
to
veracity.
figure out what's true and what's
Yeah.
not.
Okay.
So
here's
agree.
here's the example. Then this is the example that we are setting in this situation. Then if this continues like this, where it gets stonewalled and it gets brushed under the carpet, then hey, all bets are off for trafficking, for other high level crimes that I want to commit. If I have the means, like to your point, if I have the means and I have the political connections, and I can get those prosecutors to really not to do their job and
that's
to
what's
protect
happening,
my
Aki.
interests
That's
and
what's
protect my
happening.
interests.
That's reality.
Well, then it's
that's what's happening, Aki. And
then we're heading towards.
no, we're not heading. We're there.
We're there. That I don't think we're there.
We
because
are.
Then it's going to be Armageddon.
Been there
No,
since
it's not
Adam and Eve.
Armageddon. This is the world we live in, to his point.
Since Adam and Eve.
It's shit.
A president of the United States was brought down.
the beginning.
A powerful president of the United
Adam
States.
Levine and Eva Longoria.
We had a time when we brought down a president of the United States, when they brought down their own president, his own party.
Yeah, those days are gone, Aki. Come on.
Then we have to continue to fight against that.
Hold on. They brought him down, and then what happened?
Well, he was the first president in the history of the United States to resign. You know that, Richard Nixon.
Yeah, and
And then he was forgiven. He was pardoned.
pardoned.
Okay, it was pardoned for. It was a political. There's a political argument to be made about.
so was
the country was so badly divided.
Was justice served?
Well, if a president acting in good faith, as Gerald Ford did, in order to avoid a complete serious division and potential civil war in the country, decides to take that step, I can understand the logic.
That's what he was preventing, a civil war?
I think there was an argument to be made for the pardon to unify the country at a very
Okay.
White on white violence.
Just justify it in your own mind.
No, look, that's a historic fact. There's historians who actually credit Gerald Ford.
In the meantime, African Americans who are selling dime bags are being incarcerated for 20 years. Give me a break.
Yes.
3 strikes
There's no
and you're
frickin'
out.
justice. There's no justice.
Exactly.
Well,
So, guys, what
There's
do you
no
think?
justice.
We should wrap this up because we're going to
Dominic, back to you.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. This is a big conspiracy theory. The mastermind was taken care of. Yeah, there may be other degenerates, but I don't think they're high-profile degenerates in the majority. Those people, yeah, they got away with it. So big deal. Cost benefit. How much resources? How much effort? And all the bullshit that's going to cost to the country, not worth it. Let the guy rot. He's rotting right now. And hopefully she'll rot too. It's taken care of.
Aki?
You cannot have a viable society if you don't have an effective justice system. And an effective justice system needs independence, needs to be non-political, and needs to be transparent. This is the new government that has always argued that this case was not closed. Now they're in power and they have the opportunity to take that to its conclusion. So all we're saying is do your job and take it to its conclusion. Sexual trafficking is an abomination.
And they lived happily
So
ever
you're saying
after.
prior to this administration in the U.S., justice was being served?
Pat, that's such a simplistic trap to set for me. Of course, the system is not perfect. No human system is perfect. But what we have to do is we have to start from a point of stability and commitment and ethics. If we don't have that point, then I don't know, what our anchor is.
And I don't know what world you live in, but those things are not in place.
Okay, so I kind of agree a little bit with some of with what Aki's saying, which is great. It's nice to be, together on a few things here. My point at right now, with all of the stuff that's been done, is that in the forum of public opinion, where this is, it's squarely in that front, where you have the MAGA guys, where you have Democrats and Republicans all clamoring for the same thing. I think something's going to break. I think something is going to happen in the sense that information will be given out. To your point, Pat, I don't know if that information is going to be valid or not, or fixed, or still redacted. We don't know. But the story isn't dead. The story isn't dead. Ghislaine Maxwell is still alive. So until, she dies or someone kills her, I think the story is going to continue to move forward. And hopefully, the public will be given some information just to put this to bed.
Yeah, I don't think you need the actors to be alive for the story to continue. All you need are conspiracy theorists. And so
There's plenty of those.
I don't think this story dies. Something else will come along that will grab the public attention, and this will be placed on the back burner.
They're trying like hell to make that happen.
But this won't die. It won't die. And my point is simply this. In the absence of victims who have the courage to step forward and or evidence that provides a strong case to pursue individuals who break the law, particularly despicable individuals who are taking advantage of minors, that to me is one of the most horrific crimes that anyone can commit. In the absence of that, there is nothing to be done. Nothing.
Well, let's agree to disagree.
On that note, thanks for the conversation, guys. To our viewers and listeners, thanks for joining us. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll look forward to seeing everyone next week. Bye.